Greetings and welcome. How are we all feeling at the moment? Today's topic is about communication in relationships, and we all know how challenging this can be. When we've had a bad day, or your partner's had a bad day, and you get home and you just get triggered by something that they do and say, and instead of connecting, we choose to disconnect and we forget how to communicate with each other because it's not just about understanding you, it's about understanding your model of the world, your map of the world, understanding your reality, the day you've had, how you're feeling, and what's going through your mind. Communication is the only way to strengthen and improve relationships. Communication is key to most misunderstandings and conflicts. Remember, there is no bond without communication. When we communicate, we learn about each other. We learn about each other's realities and how they internalize things. We learn about how the other person thinks, how the other person feels, their habits, their triggers. And without communication, we can't learn about each other, because it's one thing for someone to tell you I'm okay, but it's another thing for someone to show you that they're not okay. And that brings me to my point. There is no bond without communication. We cannot grow together, we cannot improve, and we cannot strengthen our bonds if we don't communicate, especially through conflicts and the difficult times, because that's where we truly grow our strength as a unit. There's no healing without communication either. You cannot heal from a relationship problem. You cannot heal from something that you don't get along with or you don't resonate with. You can't heal from problems in your relationships if you don't communicate. If you don't communicate what's hurting you, and you don't communicate how it's hurting you, if you don't communicate it in your body language that you are hurt, that you are upset, if you don't communicate it in your voice, then the other person's not going to know that you're hurting. The other person's not going to know that there are problems. And the only way to heal from those problems is to sit down, have a conversation, and talk about what's bothering you, what's bothering them, and find a way to move forward. Communication is very important during conflicts because it helps us navigate through conflicts. And conflict is how we build relationships, how we strengthen our bonds, is by learning what the other person doesn't like and what may trigger them or what may hurt them. And without communication, we can't navigate through conflicts. If you are both giving each other the silent treatment, you are not navigating through the conflict. You are avoiding the conflict. You are avoiding the problem. And that's why it's important that when there is conflict, to discuss it and to discuss the feelings and the thoughts and how you internalize that conflict, and to bring that together so that you can try and understand where the other person is coming from and they can try and understand where you're coming from. And communication is what allows us to express ourselves, to express our hurts, what we've been through in our lives, our experiences, our passions, our goals, our visions, our limitations, our hurts, all of these things that we have experienced in our lives. We can express. And we can express it to our partners who are willing to sit there and listen, or any family member or any relationship that you may have. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, but it's important to understand that you have to communicate in any type of relationship in order to navigate through conflicts, to build your bond, and to improve your communication. And we express ourselves through our communication, not just by what we say, but how we say it. If it was a bad day, You're not going to be smiling and saying it was a bad day. But if I walk through that door and you see that my face is down, my head is down, sad, you're going to immediately want to communicate with me and try to find out, why am I feeling down? And that's how we express our feelings. That's how we express our thoughts. And it's how we express what we're experiencing as our realities right now, what's going on for us right now. And communication allows for healing. It allows for us to express ourselves and have a safe space to do so. Because if someone truly loves you, they want you to express yourself. They want you to communicate the things that have hurt you or that are hurting you, or things that have affected you in the past. And communication is wonderful for creating a safe space for you to be able to express yourself and what you've been through. And communication is about listening, but it's not about listening to respond. It's not about listening just hear what the other person is saying. No, communication is listening to understand. It's active listening, to be fully attentive to what the other person is saying, and not just what they're saying, but to read in between the lines and see the emotional connection to what they are saying. And when we communicate, it's important that we listen, but that we active listen, that we don't just listen to hear. And we need to really understand that without communication, we cannot build strong bonds. We cannot build depth in our relationships, because we need that conflict. We need that expression, that ability to fully express what we're feeling, what we're going through, in order to deepen our connections. And communication is how we learn about each other. It's how we learn about each other's habits, each other's little quirks, each other's triggers, things that make each other happy or sad or angry. It's how we learn about the person. It's not by what they communicate, but how they communicate it. Because silent treatment is one thing, but how you respond to it, how you project your silent treatment can say more than any other words ever could. So it's important to understand that through communication it's the only way we can learn about each other, because we can't mind read. We can't be in someone else's mind and know what they're thinking and they're saying. Even if we know them very well, there is no chance that you can know what someone is thinking and feeling all the time. And communication is not always verbal. It's not always about what you say. It's not always about in what context you say it, but it's about how you express what you say, how you express it, how your non-verbal communications, your non-verbal cues add to the circumstance, add to the situation, and add to the experience. It's not always verbal. Communication is 25% verbal, 75% non-verbal. We pick up on cues, the way people sit, the way they act, the way they say things, their tones, their inflections. All of those things is how we get to learn about a person. And communication is the only way to clear up misunderstandings. If you have a misunderstanding and you choose to disconnect, that can cause a rift in your relationship. But if there is a misunderstanding, your first primary goal must be to resolve it and to clear it up. And we do have misunderstandings because we all internalize our worlds differently. So it's just important to communicate what is not being communicated in the moment. Remember, communication is key in relationships. It's the only way that we can improve and grow, because couples who don't grow together can't stay together. So remember, you are unique and valuable. Take care of that stunning person. Stay strong wherever you're from. You are worth